Game of Learners 2022. The program was developed to enhance digital and coding skills amongst university students in Africa. Powered by Microsoft's Africa Development Center, Game of Learners is run in the form of a hackathon and engages directly with students across Africa, regardless of their higher learning institution. This season has 40 undergraduate students drawn from Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, and South Africa. The main objective is to establish a fun, hands-on learning experience and to empower participating students to develop positive solutions that impact their communities. Game of Learners, building products that address Africa's pressing challenges. In the previous episode, we saw 4 teams pitch: Team Elites, Falcons, Green Wavers, and Hack Overflow. Let's see what Team Dovu have up their sleeves.
Hi guys, we are Team Dovu and we created a product called Climb Up to help fight against climate change. I'd like to introduce you all to Jane. Jane loves the environment and is really enthusiastic about it, but she has no platform where she can express herself and make a difference. She is also an innovator, but she's having a really hard time getting investors and donors for her ideas. She is also having a really hard time getting information about climate change on the internet since the information is dispersed and really voluminous.
To solve this problem about climate change, we saw it best fit to really focus on the human element. We took a 4-step approach which involves connecting all our users, people like Jane, to teach, network, and learn with one another in order to come up with good solutions to help combat against climate change. We also provide our users with an avenue where they can post their own ideas and solutions and also accept donations in order to make the ideas a realization. Here, they can also browse all the exciting ideas and conversations happening in the community. We also give our users a repository of information structured with curated content where they can get up to date with everything climate change. In addition to all of that, we give our users a dashboard area where they can see a summary of all the activities in our application. We also give them information to see whether their area has been suited to climate change or not, and whether they should take action. Here, we also display the amount of points our users have accumulated from interacting with the application. The points are redeemable, and if they're students, they can redeem their points for certification vouchers. If they're adventurers, probably they can redeem their points for discounts or going to national parks when we partnered up with such organizations. The business model of our application is that we'll be receiving commissions from donations given to the ideas listed in our application. We'll also be partnering up with climate-affiliated organizations like the Wangari Maathai Foundation and UNEP. We also plan to accept grants from governments and NGOs.
As an organization, we target everyone who is passionate about the environment, as well as climate innovators and investors. In addition to this, we target event organizers and attendees and curious minds interested in learning.
We have our roadmap where we'll be marketing our product and building our user base. We'll also be developing a native solution for our users. And in order to make this solution much better, we shall be collecting more relevant data so that we can be able to improve our application.
And as a team lead, I'd like to say, let's all climb up with Climb Up.
Team Marvel is up next.
Imagine waking up to find 115 of your neighbors dead. This is what happened to workers at Koshe, Addis Ababa. Wrath of Mother Nature maybe? Wrong. Waste. Heaps and heaps of it. An avalanche of garbage killed the 115 workers in their home in the dark of night. The devastating after effects can be shown in the picture. If you're to visit most major towns across Africa, chances are that you'll probably see a construction site around you. This construction boom is a result of rapid urbanization. This introduces a problem of how to manage all this waste. With the current informal way of waste management in most developing countries, pollution has become worse. To be able to save our continent and planet as a whole, we will need to address this waste management problem in construction sites.
I'm sure you're wondering what next. Well, let me introduce you to Egenzi. Egenzi is a software application that digitizes waste collection and management by linking construction sites directly with authorized waste collectors. Our application targets 3 main players: the site managers, the waste collectors, and the local authorities. To the construction site managers, waste collection and management is made more accessible through Ejenzi. Using the app, site managers can order a pickup and track collection of the wastes in all their sites. And for the waste collectors, they get a platform to manage their customers and visualize their locations. This increases efficiency in waste collection. Finally, the application can be used by local county governments in digitizing and tracking their waste collections. For the application, we used the following technologies. On the back end, we used Node.js framework and MongoDB as our database. The endpoints were then hosted on Azure App Service. We used Microsoft Power Apps as our front end.
Our future vision is to develop the application further and establish an end-to-end automated process of waste management in construction companies. This includes adding more waste collectors, enabling drivers to receive requests directly on the app, and expanding to new markets such as the hospitality sectors. My name is Hafsa Abdullahi.
And I'm Charles Carrera.
And meet the rest of the amazing team members of Team Marvel who made this application a reality. Thank you.
Team Simba, take it away.
We came up with the Mazingira Bora website.
So for the website concept description, creating awareness has been one of the most applied solutions in combating the problems of climate change. So it is essential that we shed light on the fact that creating awareness is one thing and taking action is another. The problem currently lies on the action part, and it is for this reason that there is need to stimulate a personal responsibility in taking action. And for this to happen, there has to be a personal linkage that induces an individual's voluntary responsibility.
So using the product, the user will have access to resources such as videos, pictures, and courses relevant to their area of residence. For example, in areas with high plastic use, they will have resources for plastic disposal and recycling. So when they have consumed the resource, they will be connected to facilities such as a plastic collection unit, where they will have practice on what they have learned.
So the website has 4 features, mainly the learning, the contribute, and the feature, and the voting. So the learning, the user will have access to resources such as videos, articles that they could use to learn about climate change, its causes, effects, and solutions, like planting trees around river beds to reduce the effects of flooding. The next feature is contribute. Once a user has learned how to do a certain activity, they can contribute by taking part in the activities they've learned with their attached centers. For instance, if it is a tree planting, they learn how to plant the trees as a nearby tree nursery. Then the next feature is the more contributions, the more the votes. Therefore, a user who have contributed most will be featured as model example. Then the last feature is the voting. This is voting the various posts that people are going to do in order for them to be featured based on their contributions. This is done using the available social media platforms such as Twitter, Instagram, and more. Thank you.
And last but not least, we have Team Suzwe.
Our project is called Climate. We chose to create awareness on agricultural pesticides, which will reduce Africans' dependencies on artificial pesticides, fungicides, and fertilizers. And as you can see from our chart, agriculture and other land use contributes to up to 24% of gas emissions that we have in our country. Our target will be farmers in both low-scale and high-scale agricultural practice, and we'll also target the existing climate change organizations, for example, Greenpeace, and also agricultural startups such as Twiga, which are looking for farmers to help to achieve their goal. So our solution will be educating the farmer on the correct fungicides, pesticides, and fertilizer to use when farming, which will be done by use of a progressive web app. And then we also have data-driven initiatives, whereby this will be more of a farmer-by-farmer initiative. We're going to generate some ideas on what initiative should we carry so that we can help the farmers instead of solving the problems that we think farmers face. By this, we'll be having real hand data whereby we'll know that the farmer in this certain country is facing this. So for our recommendations, we recommend integrating SSSD to the application so that any farmer can access it without trying to think about how to be able to have internet. And also at a later stage, we can do IoT soil sensoring integration equipment, which will detect on the level of acidity in the soil. For our business plan for Clyma, we decided that we shall be offering the fertilizers and the fungicides to the farmers at a subsidized rate because they won't be knowing where to get the fertilizer. So we'll be also offering door-to-door deliveries if the farmer wishes to, and we'll also be depending on voluntary donations. That is, if you see we're doing a good job, you can also decide to chip in. But also we'll be helping the farmers to sell their produce to other startups such as Trigger. So we'll be the middleman there, and that's how we are going to get some income. And then based on the community initiatives that we have, we'll try to ensure that for every initiative that we have, at least some cash will be set aside to help our plan grow. You can join Clyma as a farmer or as a volunteer. You can also join as a developer, whereby you'll help us to ensure that the system is up and running. And you can also join us as an agronomist, whereby you'll provide for us the fertilizer that we are looking for. We are going to go to the demo of our site. It's very simple to use. You can learn about the fertilizer, the pesticides, the fungicides, and down here is where the farmer is going to fill in the details about their name. And once they do that, they're going to get some information. We also have a Power BI report whereby we're going to see like what have we collected. So as you can see, we have a crop by pest, disease, and crop summary, and we also have the common type of PFFs that have been used, the common type of pesticides, fungicides, and fertilizer. And thank you, that's Team Suswe Clyma Project.
Wow, all 8 teams have showed up and showed out. The question remains, who's going to be the 2022 Game of Learners champion? Stay tuned for the season finale.